G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. So today is a massive day in Marvel Contest of Champions for me especially because this is the day that they announced 7-star Omega Red. So this is one of my favorite champions in Marvel Contest of Champions ever since I got him as like a 4-star really, but then a 6-star, and then I got the 5-star after the 6-star. This guy has been so amazing for my account. He's been my all-time MVP in Alliance War. I've used him in Battlegrounds. I've used him in plenty of questing content. And to hear him announced as a 7-star today is so cool. So I really want to get this guy as a 7-star, but it's not going to be cheap because they just announced this event. It's basically sort of like the second half of the spring cleaning event. We've got the Deadpool poolies thing starting today or tomorrow, I think. And so there will be cash offers on sale to get units, and then I think they want you to use the units in this event. So there's going to be he's not the only 7-star coming, by the way. So there's also Mega Sentinel, as you can see there, and then also Mole Man, Quicksilver, Longshot, and Corvus Glaive. So these champions will all be available in these Paragon, Valiant, Omega crystals, as well as 7-star Omega crystals. And so you can buy these Cavalier crystals or Valiant crystals or Paragon if you're not Valiant. And then there's two basically routes to get different milestones. There's the Alpha route, which is the lesser of the milestones, but still you can get some good stuff. You can get a 7-star Omega Crystal by the end. And also then there's the Omega event for Paragons and Valiants, where you can get two 7-star Omega Crystals, I think. But also a 7-star Omega 1 to 2 gem. That's not just for Omega Red or Omega Sentinel, it's for any of those champions in the crystal. So yeah, 1 to 2 gem and a 2 to 3 gem, but also an awakening gem. So it's the first ever awakening gem I think we've got in the game for 7-stars, and also 106 stones. That's insane. Like I only have 46 stones at the moment, so 100 is insane. And then also plenty more Valiant crystals and units to get more Valiant crystals. I think there's Ascension dust in this one. Yeah, Primordial dust there. And there's also a 7-star Omega Selector. So if you don't get the champion you want, you can get it by the end. But it's going to cost a lot of money and a lot of units, basically. So shout out to Cam MCOC. A lot of you guys know him. He's very active on Twitter, and he basically put this list together. So this is basically what the cost of the event will be, because a lot of this stuff will actually be free. They explained in the post there on the website I was just on, that you can get 34 of the Cavalier crystals for free straight off the bat by doing the objective, which is like using those Omega champions in fights, and that will get you a bit of a head start into the event, and you'll be able to get, in fact, a lot of this stuff. You can see most of the Alpha event for free, all of this for free, and also a few of the Omega milestones as well for free, which is pretty cool. So obviously that's not going to get you much, but it's going to get you a decent head start thing. You get you get some Ascension dust, you get a lot of Paragon crystals, you get some Valiant crystals, units to get more Valiant crystals. So yeah, it's not bad for free. But then basically the next step up is, well, the next bigger milestone after that would be the first 7-star Omega crystals. This will guarantee you one of the 7 stars from that batch. And personally, for me, 7-star Omega Red is at the top of that list. In my opinion, he is the best champion in that pool there. And then you can also get a second one for, I think Cam clarified it probably will cost you closer to 13,000. It won't quite be 16,000 for this second crystal, and then about 17,000 for this third crystal, I believe. But that's not all. You can get a 1 to 2 gem for 22,000 units, a 2 to 3 gem for 28,000 units, an awakening gem for 31,000. 106 stones for 34,000, and then if you don't get, like for me, if I didn't get Omega Red, I could finally select him, but it would cost me 37,000 units. So the question, and basically what I want to go into this video is that worth it? How much is a rank 3 7-star Sig 100 Omega Red worth it? So let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're back on MCSC now. So firstly, I just want to sort of rank where I think these champions sort of sit, in my opinion, in the game at the moment. So I have the 6 champions up here for you guys now. Those 6 there. So basically I want to rank them in terms of what I think their value is in the current day and age. So coming at number 6, I'm probably going to have Omega Sentinel. And by the way, her to being number 6 isn't bad. Like, I'm not saying she's a bad champion. Just out of this bunch, this is a very solid batch of 7 stars. There's really not a bad pull here. However, I think that Omega Sentinel probably doesn't really have the pull that she used to. I think she's been hurt a lot by a lot of new tech champions, most especially Ironheart. I think she's a much weaker version of what Ironheart is currently in today. And so I don't really see her doing much in Battlegrounds, which is of course the main game mode today. Offensively or defensively, defensively she does not have much health at all, and a lot of people know how to go around her auto block mechanic. And offensively she's all right, but she's on the slow side. So she's going to come in at number 6 for me. But hey, if you don't like it, if you like her and you don't want to hear what I'm saying, then if you want to rank 3 her, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you from rank 3ing her, but she comes in at number 6 for me. Then coming in at number 5, it is probably going to be Quicksilver. Now, Quicksilver, sort of like Omega Sentinel, has kind of fallen off a bit. When he came into the game, because he was a Summoner's Choice champion, everyone was super hyping him up, and he did hold his place in the game for quite a bit. But a lot of people, you don't really see many Ascended Quicksilvers at the moment. You don't really see him being run in Battlegrounds anymore. He used to be quite a decent defender, but there's a lot of champions that can get around him, and there's a lot of people that know how to, and most people know how to fight him now. Sort of similar to Omega Sentinel. So he comes in at number 5 for me. I don't really see too much value for him. It was kind of between him and her for who was going to be number 5 and number 6. But yeah, he comes in at number 5 for me. Number 4 is actually going to be Longshot. So Longshot is a really good champion. I haven't had the privilege to really use him too much, but I know a lot of people that are big fans of Longshot. He's been an exceptional champion actually in Battlegrounds. He has been a very effective attacker. I've seen a lot of people ascend their long shots, and a lot of people have been asking for a 7-star long shot. So to get him finally is really good. And so I would not be mad at a 7-star long shot at all. Like I said, this is a very solid batch of champions. But I just don't see him being quite as strong as the top 3. But who knows? I might be wrong. But then coming in at number 3 is going to be Mole Man. Now, Mole Man is some people's favorite champions. I know. Shout out to Nagas. He is Nagas's favorite champion because he is very strong. He pairs very well with recoil masteries. He does tons of damage. He has great true accuracy. He demolishes war fights, and he is quite effective in Battlegrounds as well. But you don't really see many people running a 6-star Mole Man anymore. But he doesn't really need that awakened ability, and so a 7-star straight off the bat without the awakened ability could be a good pickup for a lot of people. But then coming in at number 2 is someone who used to be probably a top 2 or 3 champion in the game, and that was Corvus Glaive. Now, Corvus Glaive is a very polarizing champ. For some people, they love him, and for some people, they hate him. So I'm one of the people that really like Corvus Glaive. So I took Corvus. He was actually my first ever 6-star rank 2. I took him to 6-star rank 2. This was back in 2018. I took him to rank 2 before I even took any 5-stars to rank 5. And that was when he just came in the game. I just got him like as soon as he became available as a 6-star. I was one of the first people to ever get a 6-star Corvus. And I only got a 5-star Corvus like last year or something. It was kind of crazy. So similar to the story with the Omega Red. A lot of people had 5-star Corvuses, but I had a 6-star, so I was chilling for a long time. But there comes a point where a 6-star Corvus just does not cut it anymore, and you really don't see a few people are running 6-star Corvus in the current, well, definitely the previous Fisticuffs meta where there was recoils on. A lot of people running recoils. You sort of see him in the occasional Battlegrounds meta, but really like 80% of the time at least, you don't see Corvus at all in Battlegrounds. But that might change to the 7-star, because what happens when there's a new rank available with Corvus? His value just goes through the roof, because there's all that much damage he can access now that he has that new star level, new ranks, new stat focuses. It's max combat power rate. It's going to be a game changer for Corvus, so I can't wait to see what people are going to do with the 7-star Corvus. So he comes in at number 2, but number 1 has to be this man on the screen right now, which is Omega Red. So Omega Red, I know I'm probably a bit biased. Sorry, my phone just locked. I know I'm a bit biased because I've used this guy much more than the other 5 champions, but I do genuinely think that this guy is the best champion in this bunch. I think he would be the best investment as well if you're willing to go all the way and spend those 37,000 units. Or if you get lucky and you get a Mega Red before the final milestone, you might not have to spend that much, maybe just closer to 30,000. Who knows? But this guy is insanely powerful. But the question is he worth that many units for a rank 3? And that's a difficult question to answer, because for some people, the answer is absolutely yes, because they would use him every day in Alliance War. They would use him in their Battlegrounds deck. He'd be in the top row of their Battlegrounds deck. He'd be, a staple in everything they do in the game. And that's fair, because Omega Red is that kind of guy. He was that guy for me as a 6-star for many years. But I didn't have to spend that many units on him just to get him. In fact, when I got my 6-star Omega Red, it was just out of a random Cav Crystal, I think. And that was kind of how the magic started. So it is a difficult question to answer. Is this worth it? Are all these units going to be worth it for a 7-star Omega Red? The other thing to consider is that you won't be able to max sig him. You won't. Unless you get really lucky and pull him several times from Valiant Crystals, which, might happen. Some people might get lucky. But the reality is 99.9% of people who go for these Valiant Crystals won't be able to get many sig levels on Omega Red, or even get him at all at that rate, because it's going to be very low chance to get him. But let's do a bit of analysis. So the main thing that gives Omega Red his value is his sig ability. So just getting a 7-star Omega Red is awesome. That's great. You have a 7-star Omega Red, but he really needs that sig ability. He really needs that sig ability, because that's where all his damage comes from, right? You can see here, I'll read it out to you. When the opponent has 10 or more Death Spores, the Death Spores deal for a 6-star rank 5 Ascended Omega Red 4,058 damage per second. This damage scales with base attack only. So, and there's also a 30% chance for tentacle attacks to be unblockable. Now, I'm not running Recoil Masteries at the moment, so I'm going to be comparing this to a 7-star or a 7-star rank 3 in theory, because he's not in the game yet. I will be going to Aunt May in a second. So this is what a 6-star rank 5 Ascended Omega Red has in his sig ability at sig 200. It's 4,058 damage per second, which is really good. And the other thing to be aware of here is his attack rating. So his attack rating, as you can see here, is 5,281. That's with my current mastery setup. I'm not sure if I want to see what it is at base, but I could definitely check on Aunt May as well. So that's what Omega Red has as an Ascended champion. Now let's look at a potential 7-star rank 3. Alright guys, so we're on Aunt May now, we're on Omega Red's page. Now this is we're on the 6-star page now, because I want to just clarify what the attack rating is at base, because so here we've got 4,158 attack rating for the 6-star rank 5. Now I've got my trusty calculator here. Now obviously my Omega Red is Ascended. Now when you have an Ascended champion, they get 22% extra attack and health. So 4,158 plus 22% is 5,073 attack, that's what it is. So that's pretty good. Now let's compare it to the 7-star rank 3. Now remember, in this event, the most you're going to be able to get is a sig 100. Now we're just focusing on the attack for now. But this is the attack you're going to get, 6242. Now if we compare that as a percentage, 6242 divided by 5073, that is 23% more attack, which is pretty good, right? So 23% more attack than a 6-star rank 5 Ascended, which right off the bat is a lot more damage just from the degen. Now let's look at the sig ability. So the 6-star rank 5 sig 200 has 3326 damage per second. Now I showed you my Ascended one, that has 4,058 damage per second. But now let's look at the rank 3. So this is a 6-star rank 5 sig 200. Let's switch now. This data might not be accurate, because obviously Omega Red is still not even released as a 7-star in the game yet. But this is what a projected 7-star rank 3 sig 100 is going to get. So this is the minimum you'll be able to get. Well, I guess sig 101, but we can't really... Oh, can we do that? Okay, so you get 101 because there'll be an Awakening Gem as well, and then 106 stones. So this is the absolute bare minimum you'll be able to get from spending essentially 30 or 34,000 units, let's say. 2818. That is significantly less than what I have at the moment, which is 4,058. So the question is that really worth it? Because 6 stones, we're not sure how readily available they're going to be in the next few months. Now, of course, if you are going to get 6 stones and you have a rank 3 Omega Red, that's obviously going to be your number one priority because you've just spent 34,000 units on him. You want to be able to get him to 6200 ASAP. And me personally, I have 46 stones, which I think that's the max. That's what we've been able to get from like Act 8 and stuff is 46 stones. And then I've got some Ex Magicka stones, but you can't use them on Omega Red. So the minimum I'll be able to get him to is Sigma 141. That's still less than an Ascended champion. It's in between a rank 5 and a rank 5 Ascended, damage wise. So that's still not really worth it. Like, you do get more attack. 22. Actually, let's compare the attack rating. 62. Oh yeah, it was 23% more attack than a rank 5 Ascended, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, 23% more attack, but you still get less death spore damage because you're only at Sig 140. And if we look at the difference between Sig 141 and 200, it goes from 3697 to essentially 5,000. That's quite a significant difference, right? And that scales linearly. You can see it scales linearly from Sig 1 all the way to Sig 200. That means basically the difference from like Sig 1 to 20 is the same as the difference between Sig 181 and 200. It's the exact same difference. So each Sig stone is the same amount of value. But the real question will be, how easy will it be to get from that Sig 140 to that Sig 200? Now keep in mind, if you do go all the way in this event, you will have to open, I think, like 123 Valiant crystals, which is quite a lot, and there's a decent chance you'll at least get a 7-star. It might be Omega Red if you're lucky, if I'm lucky, or if you're hunting for Omega Red as well. And so there's absolutely a possibility you get maybe the Sig 160 or 180. And once you get to Sig 160, that's sort of where you get to the point where you're beating the rank 5 Ascended, Sig ability wise. It's about, in fact, let's try and see where it sort of equalizes. Is it 150? No, it might be 150. It's about 158 is where it sort of beats it. So that's a lot of 6 stones, 7 stars, for 7 stars especially. So, and we get 100 of those from the event. But yeah, the real question is how quickly will you be able to make up that difference? Now the other thing is, most people don't have an Ascended Omega Red like I do, and so if you don't have an Ascended Omega Red, this will probably make the event more valuable for you, especially because you don't have that Ascended Omega Red, and so by getting a 7-star, you'll just have that automatic Omega Red at that level. It might not quite be at the Ascended level at only a Sig 140, but you'll still be right up there, because even though it's 3675, that's only about 400 per second less than the rank 5 Ascended, so it's still pretty good, and you do have the extra attack as well. But is that really worth 34,000 units? For most people, absolutely not. That's a ridiculous amount of units just for one champion, essentially, that you're investing in. Now, granted, this is a very strong champion, right? In my opinion, he is still a top 3 mutant in this game. He came out in 2018, about 5.5 years ago, but he is still a top 3 mutant in our game. I think, genuinely believe that, and a lot of people would agree with me as well. A lot of people would also disagree with me, but that's their opinion. That they're able to have that. They're entitled to that. So my advice is, if you're considering going for this champion, is just keep in mind that this is a lot of units to spend on one champion to get one very powerful champion, but he is not the savior. He would not be the savior of your account. So I think this is going to be really targeted at high level war players, because Omega Red never gets banned in war, and he never will get banned in war. He's not that type of champion, because he is very versatile, but there's not enough. He's not relevant enough for most alliances that it's worthy banning him. So Omega Red, you have that positive, that you have that safety that he would never get banned in any war you face in tier 1. He's never going to get banned in tier 1 for the rest of the game until the game ends. He's never going to get banned. I can say that with 100% certainty, unless something really crazy happens. He's never going to get banned in Alliance War in tier 1 or tier 2. So you have that. That's a plus. But then the negative is you got to spend all those units just on one champion, whereas those units could be spent very effectively elsewhere when it comes to new content, like the Korean nationalizers we have at the moment, or other things coming up like July 4th. You never know. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's up to you. I don't want to stop you from getting this champion, but I also don't want to. I also want to, I do want to say that this is just a game at the end of the day. So don't go breaking your bank just to get one champion. Spending thousands of dollars just to get the one champion that is really good, but at the same time, it's just he can only do so much, right? Well, I say that he's a very versatile champion, but you're only going to be able to use him so much in this game. And there's definitely better ways to spend your money for sure when it comes to the real world. So that's just my 2 cents on the issue. Not an issue, but it's because it's not an issue. This is a 7-star Omega Red. This is the best day of this month for me. I can't wait to see what a 7-star Omega Red can do. If I'm fortunate enough to get him, I'm not gonna go all the way for the selector. I'm not gonna be spending that much money at all, if at all. But good luck to those of you who do spend in this event. I've got some more Omega Red content coming because I know a lot of you guys will be getting an Omega Red as a 7-star, either by chance or from maybe the selector if you go hard enough, or if you get lucky from a 7-star crystal. Or a Valiant Crystal. So good luck to all of you going the event. I'll definitely dabble in the event. I won't go too hard. I'll definitely dabble. I will definitely have a video out on it when the event drops on May 8th, I believe. And then I've also got some Omega Red content coming. I will have a video in the next few days explaining why Omega Red does not need the recoil masteries, because that is one of the greatest misconceptions in the game, that he needs recoil masteries, because it's a total myth. So I'm going to do a video on that. I can't wait to show you that with you guys. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit of a deep dive into really how valuable, how worth it is a 7-star Omega Red. Is 7-star Omega Red at SIG 140 essentially worth 37,000 units? That's the big question. So yeah, thank you for watching. Again, good luck if you're going for the event in a few weeks. Peace out.